Welcome to the Hope Unlocked podcast. I'm your host, Kristin Kurtz, and I'm also the founder of New Wings Coaching. I help and empower wild-hearted and adventurous women of faith feeling caged and stuck unlock their true purpose and potential, break free from limitations, and thrive with confidence, courage, and hope. If you're curious to learn more about coaching with me, head to newwingscoaching.net and be sure to explore the show notes for ways to connect with me further. Get ready to dive in as we uncover empowering keys and insights in this episode. So tune in and let's unlock hope together. Welcome to the Hope Unlocked podcast. I'm Kristin Kurtz, your host. I pray this episode is like a holy IV of hope for your soul. Please help me welcome Tracy Hoth to the show. I am so excited to have her here today. We've just met and had a chance to talk before we got started. And I know that she's going to share such a beautiful story and what she's doing. There's so many people out there that are just doing different things, pioneering. She's also a business owner. And I would love, Tracy, for you to just share a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Ooh, this is so fun. Kristin, thanks for having me on. I have been a professional organizer for 17 years. And so I've been in hundreds of people's homes and helped them get organized in their homes and offices and developed a business from that. And now I don't work inside people's homes anymore, but I work online helping them in their home and in their business get organized.
That's amazing. Well, I'm thinking of, just even my own home, and I would love to know, is your home super organized?
I am down to earth. So
Yeah.
the definition of organized is just to know what you have and be able to find it when you need it.
Okay.
And so I know what I have.
Mhm.
I can find it when I need it, but it's not like pictures you'd see on Instagram.
Sure.
So just down to earth. I have areas that are more challenging. It's harder for me to make decisions in my closet. And we have this, what we call the secret room. It's just an attic space that our kids used to play in. So it was cool to call it a secret room. But we just throw things in there that we don't want to make decisions on. So we have clutter in there. And every once in a while we clean it out because I know the steps to get organized. And it's just a nice place to not have to make a decision in the moment.
That's amazing. I think everybody probably has one of those rooms, if not maybe more than one. Have you found that for the people you've worked with?
Yes, for sure. Those rooms, well, in those rooms that have a purpose, because that's what its point is. For us, we have a lot of kids in transition. So we put things in there that we might need if they move out or we're saving for when they do get their own place.
Mhm.
But, if it's every room in your house, then it might be more of a challenge.
Problem. Yeah. So what brought you into doing this line of business?
I think I've always been someone that likes to think orderly, maybe. And when I had little kids, I stayed home. I have 4 kids, and I stayed home with them. And I would want to go to the park and want to do fun things. And sometimes certain friends would be like, no, I need to stay home and clean. And I need
Oh,
to go through some stuff. And I would be like, ugh, I just want to go have fun. And
yes.
I had a really good friend who was more really had an issue with clutter. And I
Mhm.
just thought to myself, I can help people go through their stuff. Like I could really help people get
Mhm.
organized to help them declutter. And so when my youngest went to preschool, I just decided this would be a great thing for me to do part-time. And it was kind of in the beginning when people like being an organizer wasn't quite as popular as it is now.
Okay.
And so I made a website, started telling people, and just started working for people. My website would come up in a search pretty well. And so that was good for me locally. And then I started speaking on the topic and building an email list so I had more referrals and met people from speaking engagements that I'd have.
Oh, wow. So you really just were pioneering something in essence because, like you said, back in the day, there wasn't maybe a lot of people doing what you did.
Right. And when you said pioneering, I'm like, ooh, I haven't really thought of myself as a pioneer.
Yes, you
But
are.
yeah,
So did you have like a grid for how did you know what your next steps were? How did you get started?
I just bought the build a website in a day and then read a book on organizing and it's so funny. I was in Barnes and Noble, like
Mhm.
on a coffee date, probably with my husband or something.
Mhm.
And a lady struck up a conversation. And I think she was probably building her multi-level marketing company and she was meeting people out and about.
Yeah.
And when we started talking and I told her that I was a professional organizer, I probably had my business card with me back then and
Mhm.
gave it to her. She needed somebody. And so she hired me. And I remember researching so hard before I went to her office and I kind of developed my steps to getting organized and then just started using those. It's kind of if you have a system or steps or a framework,
Mhm.
it works with no matter what you're working with. So that it just,
Mhm.
became something I was really good at teaching someone the steps. And then it works with everything, digital, physical, your brain, a
Mhm.
project, your calendar.
Wow. So you met her. Like, was she like kind of the catalyst that was like, okay, this is actually happening?
Well, I think I started helping a friend for free
Okay.
and got before and after pictures with her.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that lady was the first one that paid me.
Wow.
I don't even remember anything after that. I just remember somehow I got clients.
Amazing. So you, in essence, like, did you like sense that the Lord was like leading you into this? Was there kind of a go on it, or did you just go?
That is such an interesting question. And I was a believer then, and we were very involved and I led Bible study. I don't think that I ever remember seeking his answer out with that,
Hmm.
but the doors opened
Yeah.
and I felt free to do that. And I did it while my kids were in school and it just worked great. So, yes, but that's a really good question. I don't think I ever necessarily specifically prayed about should I start this business or not?
Mm. Well, it's interesting because you look back and, the years that you've been doing this, you said it's been 17 years now,
Yes.
correct? I mean, 17 represents victory. So, I mean, sounds like a victorious endeavor that he, in essence, led you to. And it makes me kind of, go, huh, he doesn't always have to give us the whole thing before we step into something. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's like, as we're talking right now, I'm not stopping to pray and ask him what my next words are.
Right.
Ever hear something on this show that stirs something deep, like a nudge from God that there's more? That's stirring. It's not random. I'm Kristin Kurtz, host of Hope Unlocked and the founder of New Wings Coaching, and I'm inviting you into a 45-minute unlocking session, a sacred space to press in, hear what heaven is saying, and activate your next bold step. If you're a trailblazer or kingdom voice ready to break free from doubt and live fully alive, this is for you. Book now at newwingscoaching.net/hopeunlocked for special listener pricing. You were born to live uncaged and unapologetically bold. Now back to the show.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that we're having this conversation because this year,
Mm-hmm.
more than ever, I feel like God's called me to this. And I've intentionally shifted my mindset to like, this is where he wants me. This is my calling. Cause I am constantly like, oh, should I go do something else? This isn't working. Should I try this? Oh, this is amazing. I love this. I'm so glad I have this. Oh man, I should try something else.
Yeah.
Should I leave? Should I get a regular job?
Mm.
And so I've had those times throughout my business over the years. And this year, I really feel like this is where he wants me. He's called me to do this. He hasn't shown me something else that he wants me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really turned to rely on him more and really invite him into all areas of my business, completely surrender it to him, ask him about each decision or
Mm-hmm.
try to remember to do that is
Yeah.
honestly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
and and I feel like
Real
it's so
thing.
exciting. I'm like, I am going to enjoy this walk with him and this process and
Yeah.
really just invite him. And he's I feel like he's personally said, and I am going to provide for you and I am going to do this. And also, I am going to get the glory for what happens in your business.
Yes. No wonder you're here today.
Yes.
So what is it like, somebody's listening in today and, they've maybe had a business and they're like, yeah, I like what I'm doing. I just don't really know if it's my calling. I feel like that's really a lot of, it seems to be kind of elusive to just people in general, right? But what would you say has really solidified for you? Is it like a feeling? Are you seeing like tangibles that are causing you to go, wow, this is really like what he created me to do?
I think has always used my gift. Like I always thought I wanted to be a teacher, but
Okay.
someone told me, oh, teachers don't make enough money. So then I
Oh,
was like, well, okay, then I have to be a business person. So then I got a business degree. But
okay.
I always felt like my gifts are in teaching. And
Hmm.
so I would lead Bible study or, teach in that way.
Hmm.
And with my business, that's what I get to do. I get to do a lot of teaching and walking with people through learning a skill, like the skill of organizing. And so I
Hmm.
think that's part of it. But I also think, and so the question, I'm like, what was I had something so good that I wanted to say. The question was, do I feel like he's called me to it? Okay, here's what I want to say.
Yeah.
I am super efficient. I'm a 3 on the Enneagram. I'm driven. I think about my business and I think
Hmm.
I don't want to waste time doing stuff that isn't going to work. That's
Yeah.
been a lot of my mindset.
Hmm.
And recently, I'm like, okay, I am going to learn something. I'm going to walk along with people. God's going to put me in the path of other people. None
Yeah.
of that is a waste. And I don't want to think about it like that anymore. So
Hmm.
I don't necessarily feel like this is my calling, but I feel like in this, he's called me to enjoy him, to surrender to him, to turn to him.
Yes. And you look at, I love what you talked about, even with, the teaching. Like you thought, you have that teaching, right? You have that
Hmm.
teaching gift. And I don't know about you, but I've often thought about, kids in high school who are getting ready to graduate. And at least for me, they would have like this list of different things you can do and how much money you would make. And a lot of the
Yes.
people would go for the things that made more money. It didn't necessarily pair with their gifts or what would, mesh well with even who they are.
Right.
I love that you said you're able to see that that teaching gift has been utilized in a way and it has been redeemed because somebody tried to hijack that from you,
Hmm.
right?
And yeah, and got to the point where he's still, yes, exactly like you're saying, he's still using that
Hmm.
now.
Yeah. Well, this is amazing. So, as you've been doing this for 17 years, you're really getting solidified, it sounds like this year. What have you had any like shifts or changes in your business to I know you mentioned a little bit about, kind of shifting from like home. Like, what are you doing now that maybe is solidifying that a little bit more for you?
I think just having more fun. I do feel like I've had
Mm, yes.
reached some goals that I had, but now I'm really about, okay, I'm going to connect with, well, maybe this is what's brought it all about. I don't know. In the beginning of the year, I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on visibility
Okay.
and I'm going to, start by pitching to be on podcasts and teaching in groups. And
Okay.
that was set with a business goal. But
Mhm.
what I've found is like, this is so fun. I get to connect and meet new people and people that I would never have met if it weren't for this goal that I have.
Yeah.
And so it's just been fun to make connections and meet people and hear their stories and learn about their businesses and connect
Yeah.
them with other people. So I
Yeah.
think that's just been in the forefront
Mhm.
of relationships.
Yeah.
And so now as I'm thinking about goals and, I'm in a group program for my business and connecting with these different people and kind of switching goals a little bit, switching directions in my business. So to answer that question, you asked me, I have two parts of my business. I have Organized Life Academy, which really focuses on probably 50 plus women, age women that
Okay.
are focused on downsizing. Maybe they're wanting to move, they're wanting to prepare so they don't leave their kids a mess, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. I have a group that I've been doing for 5 years doing that. And then I also, like 2, 3 years ago, I switched as I moved my own business online. I realized, wow, this is like takes a lot to keep that organized
Yeah.
on my computer and with
Mhm.
systems and managing your time and all of that. So I put all the organizing skills and figured out the most simple way that you could do that, that
Yeah.
I could do it in my own business. And then I started thinking there are lots of business owners who, maybe don't
Mhm.
know the skills, don't know the steps, who are really challenged. Started
Yeah.
to talk to a lot of coaches in my industry and started helping coaches and online small business owners
Mhm.
help them get organized. So I created a course and I work one on one with different people in that industry too. So I have both those sides, which I kept going, ooh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I stop one of them?
Yeah.
And I haven't been led to stop either one, but this specific year, I'm doing some work. I've been focused on the business side for like 2 or 3 years, and now I'm going to focus back on the home side. So
Yeah.
it's just,
Amazing.
yeah, talking through and working out strategies, but then also, excited who because he keeps saying, I am going to give you people. I am going to introduce you to and bring people to you that you can help. So be thinking about them. What do they need? What ways can you help them?
So incredible. I'm with you. Like he showed me if we build it, they will come.
Yes.
Remember Field of Dreams?
Yes, I do.
So I'd love to for you to share a little bit, as a business owner, like I feel like I've been doing business for a while, but maybe speak to like some of these newer business owners who, yeah, I think a lot of times it's like putting a plane together with tape when it comes to systems, right? It's like I'm gonna fly, but it's kind of duct taped together. And like, what would it look like for somebody to walk with you on this journey of, I'm a brand new business owner. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what would that look like for them to walk with you?
To get organized
Yeah.
in their business. Yes. I start with our mindset. So I have the practical skills of organizing, and I also have life coach certified in 2018. So I have the mindset
Hmm.
blocks and tools that you need. So to combine those two things is my job because a lot of times people come to me and they've been a messy person. They were always the one that had piles, or they're disorganized, or they can't, manage their time well, or more seriously, they have ADHD or they have executive functions
Hmm.
deficits, and they need help. They need structures and things to look at their specific situation and figure out solutions for them.
Hmm.
So there's parts of it we look at their mindset. If they believe that they're a messy person or that it's impossible for them to get organized, that has to change. Like we have to begin to shift that in order for it to actually follow through. Like we need to prove or to shift our thinking about what is possible for us.
Hmm.
And then at the same time, we need to start building some evidence that it's true. So I like to focus on the digital file structure so that when you download something on your computer, you're bringing something in, it has a place to go that's so simple for your mind to understand. So I
Hmm.
teach people on their computer how to have only 5 files
Hmm.
so it's either business or home, but in their business side of it, there's only 5 files that they need.
Hmm.
And now all of a sudden in their mind, it's so simple because it goes into one of those 5 places. And then I use those same 5 files in your email because a lot of
Hmm.
people struggle with email. So we have those
Yep.
5 files. So your brain is, reducing the load, the mental load and the decision fatigue in
Hmm.
order because you only have to remember these 5 things. And
Yeah.
then I also use that, like a lot of us make graphics in Canva or somewhere. So we use the
Yeah.
same 5 file structure in there. So
Oh.
learning that file structure, and then there's sorts of shortcuts on your computer on your bookmarks bar or your favorites bar that I teach people, because a lot of times I'll see they have, 150 tabs open at once and they can't remember where the tab is that they were working on. And so
Yeah.
I help them just, it's like the stress of losing something is so high that I can
Yeah.
teach them really simple ways to reduce that stress and to feel secure and confident they're going to be able to find what they need
Wow.
when
That's
they
amazing.
need it.
How many people need this? Like, have you found that, like, how many people have you worked with to help them get set free in this?
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
mean,
of
you may not
people.
even have a number, but like,
Right. And then
what,
people that listen to my podcast, I keep getting people messaging me saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so good. I needed to hear this. I've implemented this and it's helped so much." So yeah, I have a course that people can get that has I'm getting close to 100 in the course, and then I also work one-on-one, and then people can listen to the podcast and learn a lot of it.
and tell us the name of your podcast so they can go find you.
It's the Organized Coach podcast.
Perfect name. So not only
Yeah.
are you organizing homes, like desktops, mailbox, but
Yes.
you're organizing brains, which
Brains.
in essence like affects the heart and it ends up affecting like generational legacy.
Yes. Yeah. We were talking about the, from a Christian perspective, like you are stewarding things
Mhm.
that God gives you or that somehow got in your house or got into your computer or whatever.
Yeah.
The things that you bring in, now it's your responsibility to take care of them and to steward them and to be generous, like thinking about things in homes and stuff. So, yes, and you're teaching that to your family and you're leaving that for your kids. So, yes, it affects your
Yeah,
legacy, your children's future, your family's future.
absolutely. So could you share, whether it's the home, the, organized business or your brain, maybe one of your favorite testimonials that you've had somebody just have a huge transformation?
Yes, I have this amazing client, and this is on the home side.
Hmm.
She's in my Organized Life Academy, and it's so sweet. Like her house was just filled with clutter,
Hmm.
and she has just diligently gone through one area at a time. And she would tell me, like, that her storage room, she wouldn't even go in there. I think she said it was 15 years. She just didn't go in there.
Whoa.
And now, just following the organizing steps, she
Hmm.
goes in there now and is so proud. Like everything's off the floor, it's all in bins. And now she's gone through all the paper in her house. She's now she helps other people. Like she was like, I was helping someone else. My friend needed help getting organized. She's an
Wow.
inspiration in our community. Like
Wow.
she's made so much progress.
Oh my goodness. And to think like your yes, this is your yes. Ever think
Yes.
about that? Like, when I think of like the one that we impact, and it's like you just never know sometimes what the impact is beyond, but like you've seen the beyond. You've
Yes.
heard of the beyond.
And I think it's so great that we get to be in an industry where we see that and we have immediate feedback. Or,
Yes,
I mean, maybe not immediate, but still, like we get feedback. It's like so rewarding.
it is. And it's like, just think, I don't know, just think of, I don't know, what would you say, like have you ever thought about if you're actually like teaching, like how different that would be, like in a school?
Oh, 100%. I
What,
would enjoy teaching the kids how to keep their stuff organized, but
yes. Do
that's
you
probably
do
what
you
it
do
would
that
be.
too? Do you have things for kids that you've ever created? Do you have
I've worked with kids. That's an interesting question. I've worked with kids when I worked in person.
Mhm.
I remember helping a girl who she could get her ears pierced if she could keep her room organized for 30 days, I think it was. But, and she did, she got them pierced. But oh my goodness, when I helped her, there was just so much stuff. But what's interesting is we sat there
Mm-hmm.
before we started. And I said, do you think it's possible? Immediately she said no.
Wow.
And then I thought, okay, well, there's no way it's going to be possible if we don't believe that it is even possible. And so
Right.
I started asking her, do you know anybody that's organized? And she could think of her cousin. And then I said, what do you think your cousin thinks?
Mm.
Like, what does she think about it? And
Mm-hmm.
so we just right then could work on the mindset before we even began.
Yeah, that's huge. And especially like, do you know, like, has she carried that out? Is it somebody that you are still connected to?
I am not. That was a while back and someone from Kansas City, but I did not know them. I don't even know how they found me.
Okay. Those are the
Yeah.
best, aren't they?
Yes, they just show up.
Yeah. Well, I know that you also have a faith journey as well. I would love for you to share like anything that comes on, that you were led to. I know we were talking about it a little bit, and I would love for you to share just a little part of that story. Because what you're doing is huge. And I know that there's always a story behind, our faith journey is huge. And just continuing on, right?
Yes. Well, that ties in to my salvation testimony.
Yeah.
I remember I had just graduated from college. I met this girl at the office. We both just started working there. And like within 2 months, she was just so amazing. She was so fun. And we became such good friends in 2 months. And then she said, Tracy, I'm moving to California. I lived in Texas.
Hmm.
You want to move with me for the summer? And I was like, well, that sounds amazing. Just let's be wild and we're free and we don't have any reason to
It
stay.
sure does today. No wonder I wore that.
Yes.
Wild and free. Yes.
Aw. And then, so we moved to California. We both quit our jobs, which did not make our boss happy. I do feel bad for that. But we moved to California. We lived with her family. And about 2 weeks in, we went to Muffins and Coffee on the Lake with her mom's good friend.
Hmm.
And then we went back to the friend's house, the adult mom friend,
Hmm.
and she had a blue book on the counter and she said, "Oh, I've just been praying about who I'm going to disciple." I
Hmm.
didn't even know what that meant. I didn't say anything. And
Yeah.
then later they left me there and guess what we did? We organized. I was helping her organize like her pantry or something.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why.
You
Like I
haven't had
wasn't
that
an
business yet.
no, yeah, no. I never even thought about it, but I was helping her do that. And then she picked that blue book up again and she said, Tracy, do you want me to disciple you? I
Mm.
still had no idea what it meant, but she was so fun. And
Oh,
so she's like, of course I'd want to hang out with her. And
yeah.
so we started that discipleship book and I read a chapter of John every day. I did
Mhm.
a chapter of the book each week and memorized 2 verses a week. And I was a good student, so I did everything I was supposed to do. But
Yeah.
that first week, I remember sitting on my bed and reading about salvation and the purpose God has for me. And I was like, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
This is why I'm here. This
Mm.
is why I came to California, not to be wild and free, you know,
Mhm.
to meet him. Like he was my pursuer and brought me there and introduced me to this faith.
Mhm.
And since then, I just knew I was supposed to work with kids. And through connections, I ended up
Mhm.
running a girls program as a girls program coordinator in Kansas City for inner city kids. And so came to Kansas City, met my husband through Bible study fellowship, and we got married and been involved in our church and just have had such a sweet
Mm.
faith journey,
Mhm.
um, leading Bible studies and just so good being involved in the youth group and Awana and so many things. Raising our
All,
kids in the church.
all through, what was her name?
Sherry.
Oh, Sherry. Like Sherry was bold. I
She
mean,
was
really,
bold
really, really bold.
to ask that, yes, and to be praying
True.
about it and to have a book laying on the counter. They probably knew. Like, I think back, I'm like, did they plan this whole thing? Because the other family that I moved with were very strong Christians. Both the parent, like her mom and Sherry, both were
Mhm.
in BSF in California. That's how I started going to it here. They
Yeah.
found that there was a group here.
Mhm.
But Yeah, they probably knew I wasn't a believer.
Mm, yeah. I mean, incredible. And just to not even know what the word disciple meant, and then now you move and then you're discipling in massive ways now,
Yes.
right?
Discipling all those kids that came
Yeah.
to know the Lord through that ministry that we were at. And then, yeah, discipleship in my work. Yeah.
Business. Yeah, it's like
Hmm.
I like when I've heard the terminology like a business tree. Have you heard that before?
No.
It's like business and ministry combined.
Oh, I love that.
It really is, wouldn't you say?
Yes. And it's so interesting because my business isn't outwardly Christian focused. It's just me as a believer if it comes up and when it comes up.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, it is amazing. And we're putting order,
Mm-hmm.
and God is a God of order. We're
Mm-hmm.
putting order and freeing up people's just overwhelm
Yeah.
from clutter
Mm-hmm.
to do what they're called to do.
Yes. And it's so important because we need people off the bench,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say?
Yes, I love that term
Like,
too.
get off the bench, coach, put me in.
Yes,
Let's
step
go.
up. And it's scary, but
It is.
he's going to walk you through that.
Exactly. Well, this has been really fun today.
It
I would
has.
love to hear one more question for you. What
Mhm.
is something that he's like really stretching you into maybe in the next few months, what you know you're going to be stretched into in the coming year, really stretching your faith, whether business, life, all of the above.
Mm. That's such a good question. I think for me right now, he's stretching me to hear him and obey him. And
Mm,
I'm using this book and this journal to kind of have a conversation with him.
mhm.
And that is all new to me. And already in such a short time, he's shown me things that he wants me to do. And out of obedience, some of them I've done immediately, and some I
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah.
And, but I think that just the surrender of my business and
Mm,
coming to him and asking,
yeah.
what do you think of this? What should I do here? What do you want me to do here?
Mm-hmm.
And not even that I have to hear an answer to all of those questions, but it's the practice of me doing that is what is.
Yeah.
And I forget. I just forget. The whole
Yeah.
day I could forget.
Yeah.
So,
But you're putting it into practice, and there is
mhm,
an essence of practicing, right?
yes.
You're building your muscles.
Yes. Yeah.
Even
And
we
it's
all forget.
exciting. It's so exciting. And two of my really good coach friends that I got certified with, we
Hmm.
have met every week since 2018.
Oh my gosh.
And we both, all three of us have just grown in our faith
Oh.
so much. And we're now we're all of us are doing this more. We're
Mm.
bringing our faith into our conversations and just really like seeking God and how he wants to use us in these different places that we're at. And it's exciting. It's
Yeah.
really revival kind of in my work.
Yes, it's truly like, and I feel like, have you heard of the seven mountains of influence?
No.
Okay. So I know that like I carry like one of the mountains. So it's like media, education, business, government, there's more, right? But I know like business is definitely one of my mountains for sure. And, we can take revival. Like I know I've heard from several people that revival is definitely going to be coming through businesses, in this, those of us who
Mm.
are kingdom and, Christians, and it's just going to be this beautiful thing. So you're definitely bringing this to the table. You're pioneering a beautiful business, and I love the different facets that you focus on. You've got, the home, you have the body in essence, and
Hmm.
you have the online. It's all encompassing. So keep,
Yeah, and the mind of it too. That's so
yeah,
good.
exactly. Because I don't know about you, but I can have a lot of filing cabinets open in my brain.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, we need to go through some of these filing cabinets and shred some of these things that no longer serve me for this coming season.
Well, I know, and I think people are like, "Well, I wish I had a file cabinet. My stuff's just all over in a big pile."
I haven't thought about that. I guess I'm on a good track then, right?
Yeah, you have a file cabinet.
And I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I have like all these folders and I'm pretty organized, so I think I'm doing okay, but I'm sure I could learn more from you. I love it. This is beautiful. I'm so thankful for the work that you do, and I'm sure some of the listeners are like, oh my gosh, I need to hear, how can I find her? So what is the best way to get a hold of you?
My website is simply squaredaway.com,
Ooh, I love
and I have a home side of that and a business side. So whatever you need help with, there's places on that
it.
to find answers and to get help with. And of course, listen to the Organized Coach podcast.
Yes. And you can find the podcast kind of everywhere, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
cool. And I will be sure to add your links in the show notes to any listeners or listening. You're like, I don't know where to find it. You'll find it in the show notes for sure. So I'm going to close up for today, but as we do close up, I would love for you to think of someone who's listening in, just kind of get a picture of this person listening in. Do you have any other things that you'd like to encourage this in person in, words of encouragement, any words of wisdom that you'd want to speak over them? And then would you mind praying us out today?
Sure. Yeah, what's coming to my mind right now is that God is pursuing you. And I
Mm.
think of how he pursued me in salvation. We went through a really hard time with a child in a car accident that was paralyzed, and he pursued me through all of that,
Oh,
through the struggle with prayer and not, you know, I trusted God, but the prayer part of it was challenging. And he pursues me when I just get sick of everything. And now he's pursuing me through my business, and he's doing the same for you. So that would be my biggest encouragement right now is God is pursuing you.
yes. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Well, I would love to have you back on again another time if you want to share more about, some of the things that you've walked through even. The first season
Mm,
of Hope Unlocked was called Voices of Hope from the Valley. So, nice thing
yes.
to come share again. Awesome. Well, would you pray us out today? Would that
Yes, let me pray. God, we love you so much. We are so, so grateful that we can have conversations like this and realize that you are in charge of all of it. You are in control of it. You call us, you work through us, and you're for us, and you lead us. I think about how that, and that ultimately you pursue us because you love us so much. So we pray for all the details of the person listening right now. I lift all of them up to you, God. And I thank you for Kristin having me here and for her listening to your calling and obediently walking in the path that you have her in. And we love you so much. And we pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you so much for being on, and thank you for being a brave voice who's setting so many free. I'm going to close with our anchoring verse over Hope Unlocked, and it's May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope. And that's Romans 15:13. So thank you, Tracy. You've been a joy, and I cannot wait to possibly have you on again. I'll be
Yeah.
back with another episode next week. Thanks, listeners.